Well, good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back to another trading session. It is Wednesday. It is FOMC day. So I hope you're doing well. I hope your week is going well as well. Um, and yeah, it's FOMC day. So FOMC day, the session prior to FOMC is always a low probability session. So this live stream may end up being just a tape reading session and not actually a trading session. But let's see. Let it roll and see if there will be any opportunities to engage with price. Um, but yeah, keep in mind that FOMC days are always a low probability days until FOMC hits, and after we implement the FOMC protocol. I will talk about it probably later in the stream, the FOMC protocol, but right now, everything that I can eventually see, or the setups that we can eventually see, are considered low probability. It's a it's the nature of FOMC days. So FOMC will be at, let me just check here. Yeah, 1 p.m. I mean, it's not 1, but it's 2 p.m. 2 p.m. and we have 2:30 p.m. as well. Powell speaking. So it's about it's at 2:30 p.m. Yeah, it's 2:30 p.m. We will have FOMC days. FOMC speech with Powell speaking. So what can I anticipate on price on this New York AM session, or eventually what could I consider in this New York AM session, despite being a low probability session? What I eventually would like to see here is a drive higher right at the open, taking out eventually London highs, and then going lower, taking out Asia lows, because we still have a lot of liquidity here, these relative equal lows, and eventually this low as well, which it's not part of the London session, but it's kind of a suspicious low. But yeah, since we are in a low probability environment, it can eventually not develop and it can eventually not happen. So we have to keep that in mind and be aware of it as well. So let me mark 9:30 open, and it already opened 9:30 here. As you can see, prices really, the opens are kind of stacked to each other, so very close to each other, which can be a signal that price will not move a lot from where it is now. We'll take a look at the regular trading hour session as well. So as you can see, we have some buy side liquidity here as previous day high on the regular trading session, just to take out. And eventually we have on the electronic trading session, we have this all-time high, which I would like to see taken out as well, which has a confluence with London highs. So yeah, price really went down in the first minute of the open. It doesn't mean anything right now, but we can see that price is trying to get above 8:30 open, or try to support above 8:30 open and midnight open, as you can see here. Down below we have a 1 hour fair value gap, which was tapped right after the London session. And these lines that you can see here, I will mark them. These one right here, these are the quadrants of the daily wick that we presented yesterday. So I will show it to you. Oops. There we go. So I will zoom in a little bit here. So we might eventually try to explore these quadrants of the previous day wick, as you can see here as well. So we might end up working inside of it as well. So yeah, we have to keep that in mind usually until FOMC. So back to the 1 minute. We already have a first presented fair value gap. It's a small one, but it's considered a first presented, which is this one right here. It's a bullish one. So, and right now price is delivering a little bit higher, trying to go for London highs. We took already buy side liquidity on the regular trading hour session, as you can see here. So there's nothing on to our left. So this is the highest point of the regular trading hour session. But we still have this all-time high here on the electronic trading hour session. Let me just check how the Dow is behaving on the first minutes of the open. Well, it's just pushing to the upside here. Pushing to the upside, trying to go for all-time highs right at the open. Yes, it is. And let me take a look at the regular trading session here as well. So we have, yeah, some buy side liquidity also here at the Dow. And what about NQ? Let me just check NQ. NQ seems to be the weakest. Yeah, it seems to be the weakest. So despite opening with a big opening range gap here, it kind of took out buy side liquidity right at the open, and it's now starting to move a little bit lower, but we will see. So ES is still inside this strange range here. So it's stuck in between the quadrants, as you can see here, the top of the quadrant, the upper quadrant, and the 70%, 75% of the quadrant. Let me ask you guys, will you take anything here on this session, on the New York AM session, or will you just read price action? I will pull up a pool here just to, will you take any trades on the pre-FOMC New York AM session? Yes, if the model presents itself. Nah, just tape reading. Or waiting for post FOMC. Yeah, on the red platform, I just did a poll, so you can participate on it if you wanted to. And yeah, no action here on ES, just like expected. So in days like this, you have really to manage your expectations on a session pre FOMC. You really have to put your expectations at your lowest, and eventually don't wait anything from price action. That's I guess, and I believe that's the best way to approach New York AM sessions pre FOMC. Because if you come here with a large expectation of a large move pre FOMC, you will probably end up hurting yourself. So the best way you can really interact with the market is lower your expectations and eventually just wait for something to develop. If your model just develops and presents itself, you might take it or not. I'm not sure about your approach, but I just keep in mind that it's a low probability day. So even if my model just presents itself, I will probably not take it since it's a low probability day, because it can present itself, but it might not develop. So the first minutes, it can present a unicorn model or something like that, but presenting itself, it's different from developing. So we want some development as soon as the model presents, and it might happen that price will not develop in the direction of the model. So that's why I tend to stay away from it and just tape read. That way I will develop my skills as a tape reader as well, and yeah, develop my discipline as well, and stay committed, which is the one of the objectives as well as a trader, is to stay committed with your trading plan and not deviate from it. So I said in the first minutes of the stream that I would like to see London highs being taken. Price is trying to drive to its direction, but it has no momentum so far. Just like yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was kind of frustrating because um, we waited a lot, and let me go back. We waited a lot during the New York AM session. So as you can see here, this piece of price action is yeah, this is the New York AM session. So 9:30 to 11, and as you can see, there's nothing. And yeah, as soon as I ended the stream, um, and I stretched myself a little bit here, I believe. No, I'm not looking at the right day. Yeah, this is not the right one. Um, this is it. Yeah. So 9:30, which was this piece of price action, to 11:30, this one right here. So we just had this large movement to the downside, which was almost impossible to catch because there was a one drive only, with no retracements, nothing. So you had to be very aggressive with your entry or eventually take a blind short. So nothing happened during the New York AM session, but as soon as and I eventually said that something will eventually happen in between 11:15 to 11:30, and as soon as I closed the stream, which was around here, yeah, price just moved to the upside and went crazy to the upside. And it was not about 11:30, but it was 10 minutes after. So I kind of was expecting something to happen, but the timing was kind of off. And it was quite frustrating because I ended the stream and then I went for a walk. And when I came back and looked at the charts, price was already around here. And yeah, but it is what it is. So low hanging fruit is almost taken here. As you can see, price is slowly grinding to the upside. And as soon as we take London highs, I would like to see something like this happening. just to take out eventually this low and eventually London lows as well, Asia lows as well. I mean, so it can happen, but it cannot, since we already took out these pre-market lows. These were pre-market lows here. I will mark these as pre-market lows. And we already took them. And yeah, look where price just stopped right at the midpoint of the wick. And yeah, this can be a sign that price doesn't want to come back and try to go below this point. But at the same time, I'm kind of suspicious because these are relative equal lows as well. So I will wait a bit more. 950, I will mark the macro. So we are approaching the macro. It would be nice to see a reversal happening inside the macro after taking all-time highs as buy-side liquidity. Let me just take a look at the regular trading hour session. And let me go for NQ just to see what NQ is doing. Yeah, so far nothing. YM is, YM is just pushing. Definitely the stronger sister here. So it might be it might be good if we start to see some weakness and driving into YM. That would be interesting to see. YM losing some steam because this is the strongest, and if the strongest just loses some steam, ES and NQ might follow. There we go. We kind of felt short here, so we'll wait for another drive to the upside. Otherwise, this is nothing so far. So price just took out buy side liquidity here as a regular trading session top or buy side, but I would like to see another drive higher. So far supporting at 930. There we go. Reaching higher. Just another push. Seems like price wants to make another push to the upside here, just to take out all-time highs. We are inside the macro right now, so something like this would be great to see. So we'll leave this and let's see if something like this happens. The opening range still intact here on ES, as you can see. And if we look into the higher time frames, the higher time frames, it seems like ES really wants to push a little bit higher, probably towards the big figure, which is 7,000. But let's wait. It will probably do something like that with the help of FOMC. Let me just take another projection here. Yeah, this one is a small one. Let me go for the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, if I take this one right here, so amplified. Okay, was just checking it. You're still waiting here for something to develop. It might be the case that we won't see nothing developing. But we managed our expectations and we are just waiting for nothing to happen. So if something happens, that's good. If not, we were expecting it. So this might be for a bearish narrative. This might be a fair value gap that we want to see inverted. But for a bullish narrative, we want to see this to serve as support on price. So I will just take this one. Be a little bit more precise with it. NQ heading to the upside, almost going for those all-time highs. Just another push, and there we go. So the first read on price was kind of correct. We had a nice read, so we were expecting London highs, and it delivered. Of course, in terms of entry, if we had to take a trade to all-time highs, we should eventually consider something like this. But as you can see, there's no risk to reward that would be a great option. So we had just a 1.36, which is kind of low. I usually aim for at least 2. So whenever you are searching for a trade, you you should keep that in mind and look for something that will eventually deliver a good risk to reward. So at this point, price is in a really premium as well. That's why we are looking for something lower and not a continuation to the upside. But since we are in a low probability environment, it can happen that we will uh, continue higher. Still waiting here. Of course, in a higher time frame, we are bullish, but this would be only a intraday play. But I can see the big figure 7,000 acting as a big magnet on price right now. We are just 50 handles away from it. So it can happen that price will just deliver higher and not giving us a chance to interact with something lower. So NQ is pushing higher as well. Let me just take a look at YM, if it is losing some steam or not. Well, it seems like it. At least we kind of inverted this fair value gap. So now price is kind of displacing lower. Let's see if a reversal will happen. We were kind of expecting something like this to happen inside a macro, so just just preparing if price really wants to. But we left some relative equal highs here on the upside, so no market structure shift has been made here. And Q a bit weaker, driving a little bit lower. Take a look at YM just to see what YM is doing. Yeah, NQ is displacing a little bit. ES also displacing. So this is the bearish breaker here. Let's see if we will have some sort of a retrace here to the upside. That would be nice to see, because this drive lower, well, everything is happening as expected, but the only problem here is that we need an entry, and so far price is not giving us that entry. But so far everything that we were expecting is happening. So uh, we expected a drive higher towards all-time highs right at the open. Then inside a macro, we kind of we're expecting a reversal, and it seems like it's happening as well. The only problem here is that I would like to see price coming a little bit higher, giving us some sort of an entry. And so far, price is not giving us that entry. So this is being inverted. Let me just check the regular trading hours. Yeah, the 2 minute, it seems like a little bit cleaner. Only problem here is that price reacted at 9:30 open. So we need to form some sort of an order block right now. So I will let probably the order block form. Nice displacement here. I guess this was the entry that we were expecting, but I don't like how price is acting right now because we are right above 9:30 open and 8:30 open. And yeah, I've been saying this whenever I I decide to open near the opens like this, open a position near the opens, I kind of get myself burnt. So prices right at the first presented fair value gap. I will measure where price is now. So you went for 1.5 standard deviation. You can go a little bit lower. Or the block. Yeah, I don't like how price is really supporting around 9:30 open and 8:30 open. So now we are touching the order block. Yeah, price is quickly trading once again to the inverted fair value gap here. But NQ is pushing a little bit higher here. That's why I don't like it. That's why I'm kind of not liking how price is behaving. This was a nice rejection here, but it's kind of tricky when price is around 9:30 and 8:30, honestly. Let's give it a little bit more time. My initial intention was not to engage with price, so if we don't take anything, it is fine. Price is stuck here. So the best entry was around a breaker, but as you can see, it didn't give us any chance, any second chance to interact with it. So price still stuck here. So the initial idea was kind of, if price really went for this fair value gap here, or if we had a retrace to the breaker, I would have taken this. But here it's kind of, I really don't like how price is acting here. That's why. But the tape read was top notch, I would say. Kind of anticipated what price was doing. So right now we are trying to lose 930 open. But the way NQ is acting, I kind of suspicious about the continuation of this move to the downside. And we kind of stopped right at the first quadrant of the daily wick as well. Price stopping at the first quadrant. Look how we are stopping here, rejecting 830, trying to reject 930 as well. And it seems like NQ wants to push a little bit higher. There we go. So yeah, so far the reversal, it's kind of a poor reversal. It was a move to the downside indeed inside the macro, but it was just a 7 handle move. So this to me is not enough to engage with. If we didn't have the opens right away here, if the opens were a little bit lower, I would eventually had engaged with it. But yeah, the way price is acting right now, it's just a low probability, just like I said in the first minutes of the stream. So don't feel bad if you're not taking anything. Don't feel bad if you hadn't the chance to take anything, because yeah, it's a low probability session. It's New York AM session pre of FOMC, so the price is now trying to reject once again the top of the quadrant here, the top of the wick, trying to maintain its bearish direction. I don't know if it will, honestly. I don't know if it will maintain its direction, because I feel like there's a big magnet, probably at 7,000, um, dragging price to the upside. And that to me can eventually be stronger than any sort of drawn liquidity that we have down here. So yeah, guys, what about you? Have you done anything? Have you have you taken any positions? Are you just watching? Are you just tape reading? What are you guys doing right now? Because so far there's nothing that we can interact with. And yeah, from the beginning it was a low probability session. So this to me is enough to stay away from it. So you might ask, why this is this a low probability session? Because um, it's a session pre FOMC, and FOMC is a manual intervention event. So everything that's considered pre FOMC, majority of people who wants to trade, they will just stay away from it, because they know already that FOMC will try to get for all those swing positions and all those um, large positions that are already in place. So that's why the market it's kind of stuck right now, and it's just stalling, doing nothing. And yeah, that's why it is a low probability session. Your model might develop just like this. This is a almost a unicorn model here, but the follow through of the model, it didn't deliver as we wanted, because we wanted the model to deliver lower, and it kind of stuck in the first leg of it. It doesn't mean that we will not follow through here, but the time that's taking, it's taking already 20 minutes in the accumulation here, and it might be like this for the rest of the session, or it might just come lower right away. But you don't want to be inside of a position like this, because it will waste a lot of mental capital, and suddenly before going lower, price can eventually come higher, taking out these highs. And if you move your stop loss below to protect yourself, you might end up getting stopped out. So that's why. That's why, guys. So NQ, it's kind of accumulating right now. Um, just like ES is doing for the last couple of minutes, last 20 minutes. last 20 minutes has been just a range bound activity. Yeah. See, let's see. It can happen that price will eventually take out these highs first before heading lower, because our drawn liquidity is still lower here. So we already took those highs. But yeah, I'm not sure about price right now. And honestly, the ranges here are kind of, yeah, this is just a 5 handle range, which is, it's kind of small for us. I would like to see something more. See, price is just pushing. So what about you guys? Have you done anything yet? Are you just watching price action develop? Are you just tape reading? What are you guys doing? Because right now we are just flat, preventing us from losing money. Um, and yeah, there's not much we can do here, honestly. Let's see if we will have some follow through now, because once again, we are rejecting the midpoint of the inverted fair value gap here. But yeah, price is supporting here at 9:30 and 8:30 p.m. A.m. opens. And NQ is still pushing as well. Let me take a look at YM just to see. what it is doing. Well, it seems like YM wants to push a little bit lower because at this point it kind of respected the inverted fair value gap right at its midpoint. So we might end up losing some ground here as well on ES. But honestly, the way price has been acting the last couple of hours, I don't know. Why should it be different in the next couple of hours, right? Just because I've entered any type of position? Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, NQ heading to the upside while ES is just maintaining its range. Let me take a look at YM once again just to see if there's some follow through to the downside. Yeah, it kind of is. We have these relative equal lows here, so we might see ES heading to the downside now. But I don't know. This to me doesn't inspire any type of confidence, honestly. I will rather wait for 1050 macro just to see where price will head. Yeah, NQ really pushing to the upside. It's touching the first fair value gap. It's right here already. So that's why I'm out of it, because NQ is not respecting what I would like to be respected here. And if you look at the 1 hour on NQ, seems like it's ready for another run. So let's wait. Let's wait a bit more. Let's see if we will have a bearish reaction now on NQ, especially on NQ, because it kind of touched that first fair value gap, which ICT calls the suspension block. But I don't see any willingness to go lower right now on NQ. So it might drag ES to the upside as well. just like it is doing for the last couple of days, where NQ wants to take a direction, ES wants to take another one. Just like, I'm not sure when it was. I guess it was. Yeah, I guess it was here, where price just was here for a while NQ was pushing to the upside, and suddenly we went down, but then we pushed once again to the upside. And I guess here, around here, it was this a similar behavior on ES and NQ. Yeah, guys, if you guys are liking what you see, this is a chilled approach to trading, honestly. If you guys like the way I approach trading and the way I'm tape I'm tape reading, yeah, just hit the like button, and yeah, just subscribe if you want to, because I will be here every day, Monday to Friday, 9:20, yeah, 9:20 New York local time. That's the way I I do things. I always play the market open. And yeah, for those who don't know, I'm from Portugal. I'm from Portugal, from a little city called Aveiro. It's a beautiful city. It's considered the Venice of Portugal. It has nothing to do with Venice, honestly, but yeah, some people might call it the Venice of Portugal because of the the boats, which has a specific name. We call them moliceiros, and not they are not typical boats. So it seems like ES wants to head lower now. There we go. It took some time here. It took a lot of time. Let's just see if there will be some sort of follow through here, or if we will get back inside the range. Because if we will get back inside the range, that would be nasty price action. Yeah, this is what you don't want to see. Unless we get a rejection here from 9:30 open and 8:30 open. Otherwise, this is a just a low probability market, just like we anticipated. Let's just check what YM is doing. Yeah, it seems that NQ will have as well some follow through here on this move to the downside. And yes, as well. But yeah, it was really a hard time here for those who entered short. So far, we have 9:30 open and 8:30 open rejected. So we might have some follow through now to the downside since NQ is following as well. So yeah, this was the best entry so far. Price did what we expected it to do. It was not a clean run, honestly. I didn't like how price behaved around here, as you can see. Price lost a lot of momentum here. So now we went from 0.5 to -2. Price once again stopped at midnight open. It will probably touch this order block here and then eventually come lower. That's what I'm expecting. Because we will still move lower. There we go. Yeah, so far the tape reading was on point. We didn't took anything. We didn't take any. I didn't took anything. I felt like this was some sort of a low probability session. But the read was kind of fine. First, I was expecting a run higher towards all-time highs, and then eventually inside a macro, a lower move to happen. And right now we are having the lower move happening. But there's a lack of speed. There's a lack of fair value gaps that I would like to see being presented. So that's why this type of market behavior doesn't entice me. Back to the order block here. And now we stopped above midnight open, right at -2 standard deviation as well. So price is now taking some time here. We will enter macro as well. Looks good here for a follow through lower. Reaching for -2, 2.5 standard deviation probably. Let's see if price can go for the order block here. Rejecting the midpoint. There we go. Having some follow through. So a small fair value gap here presenting itself. Price coming once again back. So this was kind of an aggressive um, rejection here. Let's just see if it will, because at this time we went for -2.5, so it is acceptable for price to come above at least until 1.5. Hmm. Price is now inside a macro, so it might deliver to the opposite way. So inside a macro, we tapped the 1 hour fair value gap. We kind of rejected midpoint of the daily wick. Um, we inverted this last fair value gap here. So we might end up going to the upside now, or if we displace once again lower, we might continue lower. Seems like we went higher to take out these highs, take another shot here at the order block. We kind of rejected 75% of the wick, but now supporting at midnight open. Yeah, slow market here. Let me just take a look at what YM is doing. Hmm. Yeah, it seems like we will move a little bit lower here, at least NQ seems like it wants to do it, but at the same time, ES is not doing it. Yeah, price kind of stalled once again. Very slow price action here. Yeah, very tricky. Very tricky. I guess there's not much we can do right now. The the best chance for the short was around here, eventually here, and we would have taken this leg to the downside, but yeah, it didn't play out. So it didn't play out as we wanted. But in fact, we were not expecting to get into anything. So from the beginning, I was expecting a low probability market. So I was willing not to interact with it. Crazy how our price is just so slow right now. But yeah, NQ is just taking the upside once again, while ES is just hanging here, just waiting for something to happen once again. Let's see if we will have some follow through here. NQ still has some liquidity to the downside just to be taken. But the way ES is presenting these relative equal highs here, it's very suspicious. But so far, inverting this one as well. And we might have some follow through now. The only thing really, it's these relative equal highs here. Yeah, see, this back and forth action is kind of weird. That's why I decided not to interact with it. And yeah, we just missed this leg here. I'm not even mad about it because I accepted from the start that this would be a low probability session, so I was willing not to trade it. Yeah, horrible price action. We had to wait for about 25 minutes to deliver, I mean, 10 handles. And now we are once again waiting 25 minutes more to deliver a little bit more. So we now took out these highs, and Q seems to me that it's going for another run here. So it's 11:10, and in Q heading towards those lows. But he is really, really slow. Yeah, it seems like ES wants to go once again. So this would be the play until -4 standard deviation. This could eventually be the short setup, but yeah, I'm not taking it, honestly. I think it's not worth it right now. It's really not worth it to try it. Yeah, see, that's why the market is kind of waiting for FOMC. So it's not worth it to spend a lot of mental capital here. In fact, we just had this run to the downside that I kind of missed here. I was expecting the narrative was in place, but since it was a low probability market, I was not intending to take any sort of position, so I was accepting the fact that I would be just tape reading. Yeah, but NQ is heading lower. ES might follow. NQ still has some liquidity to take out. And I would like to see ES following NQ as well. And we might, because in between 11:15 and 11:30, there might be some injection of fuel in the market, so we might drive lower a little bit. But so far, as you can see, price is just barcoding, so there's not much we can do. So you can see that price is trying to reject midnight open, which is always an important level. But it's somehow having a hard time rejecting it. See, that's why I didn't take this trade, because yeah, your stop loss might be not secured. The end price is just barcoding. If you have entered somewhere around here, you would have been punished. just like just like this. Easy punishment for the market. Whenever you enter in a barcode like this, it's kind of easy for the market to punish you, because the logical place to put your stop loss would be around here. And yeah, yeah, it will probably come back inside the range here. So the follow through that we were expecting, it's not happening. It's not happening because we are inside of a low probability session. So inside of a low probability session, there are two things that you can eventually do. Or you don't take any trades and you accept that reality. Um, or you take a trade, but you close your position at the low hanging fruit. And the low hanging fruit for this session was simply here. So if you have entered somewhere around here, you should have taken your profits around here and close your books, and tomorrow is another day. So this is, for me, this is the definition of a low probability session. And I usually take the first option, which is I do not take any trades. For me, that's the best you can do. But because sometimes even the low hanging fruits might not deliver, and it will be very frustrating for you if your low hanging fruits, you know the direction of the market, but your low hanging fruits will not deliver, and you will get eventually stomped out before the market drives in the direction that you were expecting. So the best choice is really not to give the market that pleasure and just stay away from it, or just tape read it, because you might get some loves in between your tape reading sessions, noticing what price is doing. But yeah, guys, um well, I guess that's it for today's action. I believe there's not much more that I can um add to this stream. We had an opportunity here around here, but as I told you, I was not comfortable shorting with 9:30 open and 8:30 open right below us. So as I was saying, I was not comfortable shorting 9:30 open and 8:30 open right below us. So that to me was kind of a turn off. And yeah, we didn't miss much. We kind of missed, I don't know, about 8 handles or so. So that's not a big missed opportunity. Um, the tape read was on spot. So if you go back into the first minutes of the stream, I said that I was expecting all-time highs to be delivered in the first minutes of the open, and then inside a macro, which is 950 to 1010, I would expect a reversal on price. And yeah, that really happened. So the schematics that I draw here, it kind of fulfilled. So, but the only problem here was all this time that price, it was about 35 minutes. The price was just accumulating here, and I really hate these types of environments. So I like when price really gives us those runs, those clean runs, and um, I don't like to be present when price is just doing like this. I really don't like it. But yeah, um, I guess it was a nice tape reading session. I will not stream here for FOMC. I will just advise you to not force anything. Try to respect your FOMC protocol. For me, I wait about 30 minutes and see where buy side and sell side liquidity is still resting, and aim for those, one of those. I mean, that's the only thing that I do. I just let it run, let those 30 minutes after FOMC run, and then I just look for something still resting on the buy side liquidity, or at the sell side liquidity. So that's my plan for FOMC days. So yeah, guys, it was a pleasure to be here with you. Hope you kind of liked these tape reading sessions, and yeah, hope to see you tomorrow. And if you're not subscribed yet, just hit the subscribe button, the follow button, and yeah, just give it a like as well. It might help. I will put some more content about this tape reading session, so stay stay yeah, just wait for it. I mean, just wait for it. I will just put it in a couple hours. Okay. Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow.